Welcome to Straight Talk with Sandra Reich. Are you trying to master the game of life without success? There are secrets and strategies to living your best life. We'll share some of them with you on today's show. Take advantage of this series to become an expert at relationships. All relationships. It's time to live the life that you deserve to live. Now, here's your host, Sandra Reich.
Welcome to Straight Talk, a show that teaches you how to live your very best life. And I'm excited, as I actually am every Thursday, because I get the honor of talking about topics that are so dear to my heart and speak with people I absolutely adore. And today's topic is really, really very personally special to my heart. We are going to be talking about our Empowered Women workshops. And the reason we're going to talk about that is because so many people ask me about what's this all about. And I think so many people think it's about like male bashing and, rah women and put down men. And it's so not. And it's also, the reason it's personal is that it was, I ran the clinic, the Montreal Center for Anxiety and Depression, and I was a psychotherapist, and I still run the clinic. And, I was pretty busy with that. I didn't really need to start doing something else, but I found I had an abundance of incredible women in my office who were so inspirational, so beautiful, so smart, so insightful, and yet they seem to be so stuck in life, and I related to them. I felt that way too. And I started talking to my very good friends, colleague friends. Hi, Laurie. We're seeing people on our Facebook, by the way. If you would like to follow this show on Facebook and see what's going on behind the scenes and see us on camera as well, go to Straight Talk Sandra Reich. I should have mentioned that. We're there. But anyways, as I was saying, I divert. I'm here with Maite, and we started to get together. You're a colleague and a friend of mine. Maite Gomez is a body specialist, a psychotherapist, a brilliant woman, a dear, dear friend of mine. She's getting emotional. She's so cute. She's so cute. And we started to go out and talk about our own lives.
Yes.
And our own problems as women. And I don't know. We kept doing it for a while.
We kept doing it.
Welcome to the show, first of all, Maite. I'm sorry. I should do this a little bit more formally.
Thank you so much. Thank you for, I'm very touched right now, because you have to understand, I've known Sandra for such a long time, and I've always admired her, and she goes for it. And she always talks to her clients, to her friends, to her audience to go walk the walk. I can guarantee you, she walks the walk. So that's why I'm so touched, because when she's giving me a compliment, it's coming from a high source, because I really have nothing but admiration for her strength and her dedication to better her life and to bring that to her clients. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Thank you. That's extremely nice of you. What was very interesting about all this is that, I appreciate that. I felt the same way about you. And one day, we kept applying these strategies in our own lives, and they worked. And one day I said to you, we were sitting at Spa Eastman, which is where we currently hold the workshops.
Yes.
And I was sitting there and I said, we're going to do a retreat here. And you looked at me like I was had lost my mind and had grown 12 arms and legs.
Maybe
do you remember
13.
that?
Maybe 13. Oh, yes. Yeah. I remember this completely.
Why was it so strange for you, the concept of us doing a retreat there? I sort of know the answer, but for our listeners.
Well, it was twofold. It's such a grand dream, and you're a dreamer. So I had to take a pause and go, if you're dreaming it, I know it's possible. And then the other part is that, but who will come to these things? Because I knew you, and you were working on your stuff, and I was working on my stuff, but the audience out there will know it's hard.
Oh, it's very hard.
So who's going to come to these retreats? Who's going to come to the day events that we used to do? So who came?
Well, it was amazing. You bring up the day events, and we used to do these day events in Montreal, which were wonderful, but we really assessed after doing many of them that we're not event planners, we're teachers.
Yes.
And so, when we did actually, when I'm answering your question in a little bit of a backward way, is when we decided, okay, we're going to do it as a retreat. We want the gift of time. Mm-hmm. We don't want to do it like at 10 o'clock till 5 o'clock. We want to be in a very holistic place, a spa that subscribes to many of the beliefs that we have about good nutrition.
Yes.
And also about immersing your body experientially, which really appealed to you because you're a body specialist.
Exactly.
So I didn't know who was going to come. But it's so funny because we're 13 retreats later, and the whole point of this show is to talk a little bit about what we talk about these retreats. I had no idea. What ended up happening is it was a small group, the first group. I think we had 8 or 9 people.
Yeah.
But we got incredible women, and it was declared at that first retreat that many of those people started to call themselves lifers.
Yes.
And have come to every single retreat since then.
Yes.
You know?
It's unbelievable.
Really,
it's really
I still scratch my head about the whole thing. And I still, you know, and I a lot of people have asked us, like, what makes it so special? So I thought today what would be fun on the show is to really, you know, instead of just saying how great our retreats are, that's very nice, but it's, you know, sounds a little obnoxious to tell you the truth after a while, is to sort of pinpoint why do women, like, why is there this need? Because I've become very passionate about women, and I was talking last week at a conference, and I said the statement that women, when we got it, like our women's rights, we still got ourselves into trouble. And somebody got very offended by that statement and said, well, hold on a second, are you saying it's bad that we fought for women's rights? And I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is that it's great that we're getting there.
Yes.
But we still, unfortunately, although we gained a lot of things, we also still kept a lot of pressure on us as women.
Oh, yes.
And I'm going to give a personal example in a moment. As pressure, we still have a lot of that on us. And yet now we're in the working force, which we wanted to be in. So I'm not pulling the victim card. Because someone was upset when I said that. I'm happy to be in the workforce. So my personal example of this and why I think women are still falling like flies, which is why I am concerned about women, is, you know, my husband works and I work. My husband is an employee, so he works a fixed schedule.
Yeah.
I run companies. I have 4 companies plus a radio show. And okay, whatever, that's a choice. I'm not feeling sorry for myself. We have 2 kids. He brings the kids to school in the morning. I pick up the kids in the afternoon. And a story I often tell recently is that I got a call from the school and they were like, Miss Reich, your children have been coming to school late, and with like this very serious thing. And as it should be. But I said to them, sorry, here's my husband's phone number, 514. And it's just very interesting to me that we still live in a society that when your kids are not behaving, women are still like, no problem, not mad at the school. If the school's listening, I'm not mad at you for calling. I'm happy you called. But it's just interesting that there's still a lot of, the focus still goes when it comes to parenting on the woman. Would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely.
Or do you think I'm off?
Oh, no. I mean, in my own life, that's how it is. I mean, the mother is the first line.
Yeah.
And okay, but that's a lot of pressure. How many times have I heard when either I'm working in the evenings or going out for yoga or tea with a friend, oh, your husband is babysitting. I'm like, babysitting? That means that you pay the person, right?
Yeah. So, he's taking care of his kids.
No, that's not babysitting. Where is that coming from?
Right. So, so that's part of like where this comes from, this idea. And, you know, if you have questions about women's issues, please do call into the show today at 1-866-472-5792 or join the conversation on Facebook, because what's happened that I find interesting about the 13 retreats, because we never anticipate 13 retreats, is we have not run out of topics. No. And today I really want to talk about some of the topics that are coming up in the next retreat, because I've actually started working on it. And I think that emotional regulation, for example, is going to be so interesting. Mm-hmm. And why are they so related to women? And I want to put my little bit out there. First of all, what I said before is this concept of that women are still struggling very much, finding the balance. The other thing that I think that I'd like to talk about on the show today, and is a constant issue for women, is that we're still not, and it certainly comes up in my life, we're still not that great at self-care. Men are much better at it. So this is not a put down to men. This is more like, I tip my hat to you men.
Yes.
And of course, the idea that women, and we wrote a book about this, we're very socialized to accommodate and caretake and take care of others. And unfortunately, as you and I well know from our research on the book, that doesn't work so well in relationships. It doesn't even work so well in parenting. And yet, as women, that's what we're taught to do. That's what my mom taught me.
Oh, of course. And my mom really taught me that too. And it's really, that's what you're supposed to do. That's the recipe that's been handed down. The thing is, wow, that's what I did for so many years. I don't know about you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
I thought that was like love. I thought that was really the way it's done. And it is loving, but unfortunately, and to quote our book, love without respect dies. Yes. And it certainly wasn't commanding respect.
No.
We're going to have to take a break in a moment, but I'll leave our listeners with a thought. And we have also a caller when we come back from the break. Can't wait to speak to her. She's one of our empowered women. But here's the thought that I have is that I was talking last night with my husband about our own relationship and the difficulties that we had early in the relationship, where there was lots of love, by the way, but not a whole lot of respect. And I was saying, I don't even think I'd be able to go through it anymore. I mean, I am getting older now, and it cost me emotionally a lot.
I would say wiser.
Okay.
I would not say older. I would say wiser.
I mean, to be fair to my husband, I didn't command respect, and respect is a two-way street. So my commercial break, and we'll be back with our caller, Lori from Montreal. We can't wait to speak to her. Hi, Lori. Just hold on a moment. My thought for people listening on the break is, how much have you learned about respect? I mean, we all learn about love. You know, one day my prince will come, you complete me and all that. How much have you learned about respect, and how much do you command respect in your life? Think about that, and we'll be right back with Straight Talk with Sandra Reich.
Your life, your health, your network. You're listening to Voice America Health and Wellness.
Spa Munari is a full-service wellness day spa located at the heart of West Island, Quebec. Submerge yourself in beauty with one of our many treatments, specially catered to your needs. We offer facials, manicures, pedicures, hair removal, massages, body treatments, and so much more. Enjoy our ultimate relaxation experience with our spa packages. We offer a men's menu as well. Call us today to book your next appointment at 514-695-5040 or visit us on the web at spamunari.com. That's 514-695-5040 or spamunari.com.
Join the therapist who is affectionately known as the Couple Whisperer, Sandra Reich, on her famous couple retreats, and change your life forever. Sandra offers couple retreats in beautiful locations several times a year that can radically change your love life. Couples describe her retreats as life-changing. Regain that loving feeling, bring your intimacy to a new level, and rediscover excitement and joy. Find out more at helpforanxietydepression.com or call 514-796-4357. We all want love and safety. Now you can have it. Call 514-796-4357 or helpforanxietydepression.com.
Change your life forever with the latest cutting-edge products for home study treatment for anxiety, featuring the clinical director of the Montreal Center for Anxiety and Depression and host of Straight Talk, Sandra Reich. Sandra is joined by top therapist Georgia Dow in this revolutionary anxiety videos therapy series. Thousands of people have benefited from this scientifically proven treatment approach. Isn't it time you chose yourself? Visit anxiety-videos.com right now. That's anxiety-videos.com and change your life forever.
A fresh look at today's health. Voice America Health and Wellness.
You are listening to Straight Talk with Sandra Reich. To connect with the program today, please call 1-866-472-5792. Again, that's 1-866-472-5792. You may also send an email to info@helpforanxietydepression.com. Now, back to Straight Talk. Here's Sandra Reich.
Hey, back on Straight Talk Laws. A couple of things I want to say before we get to Lori. I'm so excited to speak to her. First of all, I just want to mention that we will be talking in this segment about some of the topics that are coming up, including the famous guilt and how women get into trouble with that. And before we talk with Lori, I just want to mention our sponsor, Spa Munari, who, if you're in Montreal at 514-695-5040, if you call them and say that you're listening to Straight Talk with Sandra Reich, they will give you 15% off on any service. Did you know that?
Wow, that is very generous.
And that spa is run by an extremely empowered woman. Big shout out to Olga. Lori, how are you doing?
Hello, my favorite two ladies. How are you? Actually, you're some of my favorites because all the other ladies that come to the retreat are my favorites too.
Oh, great.
Well, that's, right there, that's something I want to pick up on is that you've been to, I think, 4 or 5 retreats?
Yes.
I'm not sure. I could have gotten that wrong, but I think that it's important to pick up that the way you just said that something got formed between you and the other ladies who came to the retreat. What do you think that's all about?
You know what? We share so much of ourselves when we come to these retreats, and every time one of the women shares something about herself, I see a little bit of me in her. And through her experiences, I learn more about myself.
It's amazing, Lori. And you've come on such a big journey on these retreats.
I have. Honestly, at this last retreat, everything really came together for me. And I understood the importance of taking care of my needs and putting myself first. And I've actually been practicing that since we got back from the last retreat.
Oh, tell us.
It's actually, I now take the time to give myself what I need, whether it's more sleep, whether it's a moment to meditate, some time to journal, whatever it is, I ask for it, I take it, and I'm so much more pleasant to be around.
Well, yeah, we tend to be more pleasant when we take care of ourselves. Lori, what was it at that retreat that cemented that for you?
I don't know. I don't know which exercise we were doing, but we're always doing learning something and then doing an exercise and reflecting on that a little bit. And what came together for me in that moment was like, oh my goodness. I fall into traps of overeating or watching too much TV or binge anything, binge drinking, binge eating, binge whatever. When I get the call that I'm not taking care of me and I don't answer it.
Gosh, you sound good,
now
Lori.
when it's happening, I'm like, oh, there's that little cue for me.
Oh, we are proud, Lori. That is, you sounding good, girl. You are sounding good. I haven't seen you in a while. I can see you're really doing some great work.
I have goosebumps. That's really amazing. Lori. Wow.
Thank you.
When we go to binging, usually it's because we've been deprived for so long.
Yeah.
And so deprive is the opposite of self-care. So you do not do your self-care, you deprive, and then you're like suffocating. You need air, so you just binge. I understand that. Wow.
That's very impressive. So you're obviously doing your work, which I think speaks to the fact, the journey. And I think that that's what this whole thing has been, this empowered woman. It's a journey. And, I don't know if I said 4 or 5 retreats. You kind of hesitated. I don't know if it's 3. I'm not sure. I feel like we've been with you on the journey.
I think you're right. It's 4 or 5.
Okay, good, because I was feeling a little silly there, Lori. But it's quite remarkable, and it's the retreats have taken on a life of their own, and the sisterhood that you guys have created with each other is it's unbelievable. Because when I think that a lot of you, most of you, didn't know each other before, it's just really special. Any questions on your mind today, Lori?
I don't. You know what? I wanted to touch upon something that you guys were mentioning earlier.
Okay.
You were talking about how women, we have all these rights now, and it's amazing, and I totally agree with you. I feel like one of the things that comes up for me is that, we're learning from past generations. So the lessons and the rules are being given from one generation to another generation to another. And when we go back on where these rules stem from, they come from a time when women didn't have any rights.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
So that's still coming up for us. So even though we have all these rights, we're not given the permission to live according to that.
Yeah.
I see what you mean. We have all these rights, but we have so much guilt of not saying yes to everything.
Exactly.
And that's the trap. We cannot be saying yes to everything. We're one person.
Yeah, and living in accordance to someone else's rules or what fits someone else. Like, if I told you some of the things that's been going on in my life and the guilt that I've gotten rid of, that I don't take on anymore. It's like, if my friends have been coming over and doing my dishes for me because I'm busy with other stuff, and that's not my priority. And there was a time when I would have been like, oh, I'm not a good mom, I'm not a good wife, I'm not doing my dishes, and I'm so bad that my friends are coming and doing it for me. And now I'm like, no. If they want to come and do it, I mean, I need to set some boundaries there, but that's their stuff, not mine.
It's so funny because that's actually coming up in my life too, Lori. And I think that a lot of times as women, we don't always reach out for help. And even with my husband, I find myself saying things like the birthday invitations of my son are coming up, and I'm like, yeah, I can't do that. You're going to have to do that. There's too much on my plate. And I think it doesn't come natural for us to ask for help. And yet this brings up another component of the male-female dance that men actually are very happy to help if they're asked to help. Now, Lori, a friend of yours and ours is on the phone too. Let's bring her into the conversation as well. Candida is on the phone. Hi, Candida.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm okay, thank you. It's so nice to hear you girls chatting.
And it's so nice to have you join the conversation. Have you been hearing this conversation about asking for help and women, how we take on so much? And any thoughts or questions or what's on your mind?
Well, I have to tell you that what I definitely took away from our last retreat, some of the exercises that we did, is to ask for help and not feel guilty about it. And I'm actually away on a holiday right now, and
you called in.
I'm with my kids, and I've actually said to them, I've cooked, and now I'd love to have your help in cleaning. And they've been like, okay, great, sure. Like, no fight back, no. And I always felt like I had to do it all, and I don't, and it's accepted, and it's okay. And
we're getting all emotional here. We're getting emotional, Candida. This is amazing. And that's very similar to what Lori was saying. That's amazing. I don't know what happened at that retreat, but if that came out of it, that you're learning to ask for help and not take it all on yourself, I wondered as women why we think we have to take it on so much. Where did we get that message? Was it from our mothers?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I grew up in a household where my mother took care of everything inside the household, and I guess my dad took care of everything outside the house and finances and whatnot. So, and they never really spoke to each other. She made independent decisions as to what they were going to do, and he made independent decisions, and somehow they informed each other whenever the decision was already made. So there was no asking for help inside the house.
No team.
It just wasn't something he did, ever.
No team. And I think what's interesting about what you said, Candida, and I'll bring it back to you, Lori, is that you were saying that when you asked for help, Candida, that people responded around you in a good way.
Yeah.
And it sounded like, Lori, you had the same experience. So both of you are, people are rising to the occasion, right?
Absolutely. And with a smile.
Lori, you too?
Oh,
Lori, I think we lost Lori. Lori.
I think that people are more than happy to help, and there is some resistance sometimes because the roles are changing a little bit, but ultimately it's for the better of the entire family.
I love
and
that.
That's being recognized.
It's like a team sport, right? This is everything that comes up at the retreats is the understanding that we didn't get this training. I certainly didn't. That it's a team sport. Marriage is a team sport. So, Candida, when you're talking about your mom and dad making independent decisions, there's no team in that. There's no team
whatsoever.
in that.
The example was we are our own beings. We do our own thing. You fend for yourself, and there was no team.
Wow. So it's a different day, and I got to, we're going to take a break in a couple of minutes, and I'm going to ask you guys to stay with us on the Facebook feed, and we'll come back. But I want to compliment you, both of you, on the phone right now because. You're the ones who take the time to come to the retreats, do the work, and by doing that, you are changing future generations. Do you guys take that in? Because I really think you need to take that in.
I've definitely acknowledged that, and I know that I do it to be a better role model to my daughter than my mother was to me. So definitely.
Oh, it's wonderful.
I have goosebumps. That's amazing. And you really are.
And you too, Lori. I mean, even what you're talking about, that you're listening to your inner child telling you when you're indulging that it's that you forgot to take care of yourself. I mean, think of the vitamins you're giving your kids with that.
So many times I let go of the guilt of putting myself first because I know I'm teaching my daughter a valuable life lesson.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I was very touched by one of our empowered women who recently told me that she put and you both probably know the story, she put a boundary down on her child, and she apologized. Her child said that the child was very angry at the mother, our empowered woman, and the empowered woman that we know said, "I'm very sorry, but I'm not sorry for putting a boundary. I'm sorry as a mother that I didn't put boundaries before, because that was part of my job as a parent." Isn't that beautiful?
I just got goosebumps. I missed that little. I didn't know that was the end result, but I think it's fabulous.
Absolutely fabulous. So, can you guys stay with us? We're going to take a short break. Can you guys stay?
Yes.
Okay, and what I had asked people to think about before the last break, and we didn't finish it, and we just have a couple of seconds before the break to bring it up. And Candida and Lori, perhaps, if you want to say a couple of words on this, the importance of respect in your relationships with your kids, with your partners. Would you agree in, just a couple of words, because we got to take a break, that it's made a big impact to command respect from people around you?
It has completely changed my relationship.
Oh my God, that's a cliffhanger. I want to come back from the commercial. I want to hear about that, Candida. Stay on the line. We're going to take a short break, but you guys, we're going to be still on Facebook. If you're following us on Facebook, Lori and Candida will be there with us. We'll be right back with Straight Talk with Sandra Reich.
Your life, your health, your network. You're listening to Voice America Health and Wellness.
Change your life forever with the latest cutting-edge products for home study treatment for anxiety, featuring the clinical director of the Montreal Center for Anxiety and Depression and host of Straight Talk, Sandra Reich. Sandra is joined by top therapist Georgia Dow in this revolutionary anxiety videos therapy series. Thousands of people have benefited from this scientifically proven treatment approach. Isn't it time you chose yourself? Visit anxiety-videos.com right now. That's anxiety-videos.com and change your life forever.
Spa Munari is a full-service wellness day spa located at the heart of West Island, Quebec. Submerge yourself in beauty with one of our many treatments, specially catered to your needs. We offer facials, manicures, pedicures, hair removal, massages, body treatments, and so much more. Enjoy our ultimate relaxation experience with our spa packages. We offer a men's menu as well. Call us today to book your next appointment at 514-695-5040 or visit us on the web at spamunari.com. That's 514-695-5040 or spamunari.com.
Join the therapist who is affectionately known as the Couple Whisperer, Sandra Reich, on her famous couple retreats and change your life forever. Sandra offers couple retreats in beautiful locations several times a year that can radically change your love life. Couples describe her retreats as life-changing. Regain that loving feeling, bring your intimacy to a new level, and rediscover excitement and joy. Find out more at helpforanxietydepression.com or call 514-796-4357. We all want love and safety. Now you can have it. Call 514-796-4357 or helpforanxietydepression.com.
Your life, your health, your network. This is Voice America Health and Wellness.
You are listening to Straight Talk with Sandra Reich. To connect with the program today, please call 1-866-472-5792. Again, that's 1-866-472-5792. You may also send an email to info@helpforanxietydepression.com. Now, back to Straight Talk. Here's Sandra Reich.
So this is the nature of the Empowered Women Workshops. We put a shout out to our empowered women saying we're doing a show on this topic. And look at them calling in and telling their amazing stories. We've got Candida's going to talk about how respect changed her relationship with her son. Tiffany has just joined us. We want to say hi to Tiffany. Hi, Tiffany.
Hi, Sandra. Hi, Maite. Hi, girls.
How are you?
It's so good. This is so exciting to listen. I love it.
I know. Isn't it? So we've got Candida, we've got Lori, we've got Tiffany. Tiffany, have you been hearing the conversation about respect and about how the ladies have been better self-care since the last retreats?
Yes, and I'm right there with the rest of the gang. Totally life-changing and feeling so empowered. And my relationships across the board, all my relationships, family, romantic, they're all changing for the better. And my life is so much more stress-free, let's just say.
Oh, I love that.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I'm so happy to hear that. So I want to go to this concept of respect, but I just got another note that we've got another empowered woman. I can't believe this. Rita, hi. How are you? Oh, my God. How are you?
Crazy happy to be with all of you.
What a great group of women. So Candida's going to tell us how respect has changed your relationship. And I want to know from you, Rita, after how some things have been moving in your life and through the retreats, what is changing and what's exciting you? Candida, what happened?
Well, I actually decided to set some very clear boundaries and clear consequences. And he's a young man and who now has a girlfriend, and I wanted to, and he's, trying to push away from mom, which is normal, but I wanted it to be done respectfully. And I was struggling with what is right, what is wrong, what are the consequences, and, learning about boundaries and respect. And so making it clear to him what my expectations were, was an eye-opener for him, much to my surprise, because I thought it was clear, and yet he sat there going, I had no idea, Mom. And he respects me on a completely different level, and we now have great conversations where he understands what my needs are and what I expect from him in terms of respect. And I also see him changing the way he speaks to his girlfriend, also with a lot more respect and understanding. Yes, so it wasn't just our relationship, but it's made this young man realize that women are very important, and you can't just walk all over them if you feel like I no longer need you the same way. And so it's made a huge difference for me.
So you're teaching also your son how to respect women, and respect has made a big difference for all of us on this journey. Rita, what's on your mind of all this? Candida, amazing. Mm-hmm. Rita, what do you think? What do you think of what Candida saying?
Respect. So I'm so grateful to have been doing the work with all of you wonderful ladies on learning to better know myself and, take my life from self-indulgence to greater self-care, thanks to the last retreat and the number of other retreats that we've done together, because it is about that genuine respect of my own boundaries, my limits, my personal feelings, and then taking those and communicating them in a healthful way in all of my relationships in order to forward them, in order to grow them, and to teach and to be a leader as well to my children, to the staff of the business that we own together, my husband and I, and, to forward my personal dream of, at some point, finishing my academic career and becoming a therapist.
So, listening to you all talk is just, Rita, it's brilliant what you're saying, just absolutely so powerful. And it's so satisfying for Maite and I to hear these stories. And Candida, what you did with your son, and Lori and Tiffany, it's, I'm hearing you guys all talk with this confidence and a lot of self-love. What is it? We don't even know. What is it about the retreats, and what is it about what we're, what gets created in our environment? And I don't mean in terms of only the teaching, which hopefully is good, but what is it that makes it, I always think of what Cam wrote, one of our empowered women, saying it's like Cirque du Soleil, you can't really describe it. What do you think happens? And do you think that our gut instinct to take it to a spa and to have a few days, do you think it's the gift of time? Because that's what I think it is the gift of time. Do you think that's what makes the difference?
I do. I think it's the gift of time. I think it's the sisterhood. I think it's the safety and the knowledge that we're all there to work on issues that are personal to us, but together. That makes, for me, that makes a huge difference. What is it for you, ladies?
It's definitely the time. It's getting away, and first of all, the fact that we are taking the time for ourselves is the first step.
the fact that the sisterhood continues well beyond the days that are there, and the fact, I have to honestly say, the fact that Sandra and Maite are there make a huge difference to our retreat. I don't think it would be the same without you two. But definitely taking the time in a serene environment where we're caring for ourselves and eating well and making sure that we're listening to ourselves and getting the support from all of the sisters. I think that makes a huge difference.
So, for somebody listening, and we just got a call from Tracy, so we're going to bring her on in 1 second. For someone listening, it sounds like everyone knows each other. It's like a cozy family. They might be nervous to come to the retreat. But at one point, you guys walked into a retreat without knowing people. Yep. Mm-hmm. So we want to make sure that we get it across to people how that sisterhood gets formed. It's not that you guys all came together, right?
No, we didn't. And every retreat, we have new people who join us. And it's just the experience of being together and of sharing and of growing. And as Candida said, being in that, serene, healthful environment. Every weekend we're there together, or with new sisters coming in, that's when the magic happens.
Yeah, it really starts on the first night. Tracy, welcome to Straight Talk.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. So Tracy is definitely a lifer. She's been to all 13 retreats.
Yes,
Tracy, for people who come into these retreats, let's say a woman is considering coming and they, everyone sounds like they're friendly now. They could feel a little intimidated. What's it like when we get together the first evening for somebody who's just starting out?
I think what makes these weekends so special is that we all do start that first night with a little bit of nerves, and I think that makes us all very vulnerable, and we share that, we show that, and the miracle of these weekends, I find, is that we are all there for each other. We're all going through the same thing. We all have issues happening in our life. We're all a bit nervous about sharing them, often with strangers. And there's a shared vulnerability that really, we come together, we support one another, and then we grow together over those 2 days because of that vulnerability together. I'm just amazed by it every single time, and I've been to it 13 times.
And I'm amazed listening to you. I'm just amazed hearing you say that. It's so meaningful to us that you feel that way. And I'm a little bit blown away by even hearing you all on the radio like this. Is just so nice. Such an amazing journey that you've all taken and allowed us to take with you. It's really special.
And people who come into the Empowered Women, the women that come in are really, really strong and beautiful women, but they want more in their lives. So and I find that the group is very respectful and welcoming to newcomers. And often the newcomers are a little bit shy, and then the first night and they go, wow.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of safety. Yes. So you guys know that we're doing some emotional work at the next retreat. So what about guilt? Is guilt still an issue in women's lives, do you think?
Yes, big time. Absolutely. I'm so thrilled that that's coming back up as a topic. I know we've dealt with it before, but that's a real tough nut to crack. It
is.
This society is really, we're bombarded with message after message that we should feel guilty about everything, our choices, our lifestyles, our bodies, our families. It's a constant bombardment. And even though I've been to 13 and I've been doing my work with you, Sandra, for 5 years, guilt is very much still one of those things I have to battle against.
Yeah. We're going to go to break again, but we still have a couple of minutes before the break. Anyone, including you, Maite, why do you think women, and I'm one of them, I'm going away next week with my husband, it's very hard to not feel guilty about the kids. Why do women suffer this so enormously when men don't? I know I'm supposed to be the teacher, but let's put it out as a global topic. Why are women so guilty?
Well, I can go on this one. I believe that we did get the rights. Yesterday was Women International Day, so happy birthday to all of you out there. It's wonderful. So we do have rights now, but the thing is, having the right by law doesn't mean that you give yourself permission. It doesn't mean that your sister gives you permission, your mother, your husband, or whatever it is. And I think that the permission is not really there. So we've got the rights by law, but do we have the rights emotionally? That's the question.
Guys or ladies?
Yeah. I think it's really hard as women because we're still having to have the communication first with ourselves that it's okay to use these rights, and then with our spouses or significant other. It's almost like an educative process where we're teaching how it is to be a woman. I'm having conversations with my spouse. We've been married 20 years, and I'm still sometimes explaining, honey, this is what it's like from my perspective as a woman. There are still all these things that are either difficult to attain or more of a challenge because I'm a woman.
Okay, so yeah, this is so important, and I also want to get an overview from you, Tracy, when we come back from the break on how you're doing since the last retreat, how things are going. I want to also put a little bug in everyone's head. Something that bothers me is that minority groups, which are groups that have been persecuted, we've gotten a lot of political and pressures out there. You don't use certain names for, different minority groups. It's not okay. For women, it's a minority group that concerns me. It's still somewhat okay to still say politically, we see this happening a lot these days, to put down women and treat them and subjugate women and objectify them. I want to put it out there for you guys on the break to think about, both listeners and my empowered women, what is going on and what can we do at our upcoming retreats to change that. We'll be right back with Straight Talk with Sandra Reich.
Your life, your health, your network. You're listening to Voice America Health and Wellness.
Change your life forever with the latest cutting-edge products for home study treatment for anxiety, featuring the clinical director of the Montreal Center for Anxiety and Depression and host of Straight Talk, Sandra Reich. Sandra is joined by top therapist Georgia Dow in this revolutionary anxiety videos therapy series. Thousands of people have benefited from this scientifically proven treatment approach. Isn't it time you chose yourself? Visit anxiety-videos.com right now. That's anxiety-videos.com and change your life forever.
Spa Munari is a full-service wellness day spa located at the heart of West Island, Quebec. Submerge yourself in beauty with one of our many treatments, specially catered to your needs. We offer facials, manicures, pedicures, hair removal, massages, body treatments, and so much more. Enjoy our ultimate relaxation experience with our spa packages. We offer a men's menu as well. Call us today to book your next appointment at 514-695-5040 or visit us on the web at spamunari.com. That's 514-695-5040 or spamunari.com.
Join the therapist who is affectionately known as the Couple Whisperer, Sandra Reich, on her famous couple retreats and change your life forever. Sandra offers couple retreats in beautiful locations several times a year that can radically change your love life. Couples describe her retreats as life-changing. Regain that loving feeling, bring your intimacy to a new level, and rediscover excitement and joy. Find out more at helpforanxietydepression.com or call 514-796-4357. We all want love and safety. Now you can have it. Call 514-796-4357 or helpforanxietydepression.com.
Your life, your health, your network. This is Voice America Health and Wellness.
You You are listening to Straight Talk with Sandra Reich. To connect with the program today, please call 1-866-472-5792. Again, that's 1-866-472-5792. You may also send an email to info@helpforanxietydepression.com. Now, back to Straight Talk. Here's Sandra Reich.
Talking with my favorite people, empowered women, about empowering women, and with Maite Gomez, brilliant Maite Gomez. And Tracy, I wanted to check in with you. How are you doing? We heard from some of the other women that they're doing much better with self-care since the last retreat, with boundaries and consequences. What about you?
Things are really well. This is a really busy time for me. Standard excuse for no self-care, right? And I'm using it for right now on the radio with you. So I know I had made the vow at the retreat on scheduling in my workouts and making that a priority. Well, guess what? It's fallen off my calendar again.
Well, maybe this radio show will get you back on.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. I mean, hearing all of your voices and hearing all the strides my fellow sisters are making, it reminds me that I said that this was important to me. And once again, I've let it slide, and I need to make it. If it's important, I need to make the time. So unfortunately, I have to report that I've had a little setback in that area. However, there has been, I think, big improvement in my life in terms of checking in with myself when I get triggered, and instead of becoming reactionary and letting out I call her my warrior princess. Going from 0 to 100 and having her come out and go into battle, I've been able to talk her through things and say, no, we're not under threat. It's okay. You don't have to come out right now. And I'm able to stay calm, and I'm able to take the 90 seconds to let the emotion wash through me and take a moment to figure out what just happened before I, rip the face off of my poor husband. So that has been, I think, a big improvement and has really helped us.
That is huge. And I think that getting back on the horse is what it's all about. So I know you're going to get back on the horse just by having you call in and get back to your good habits. Lori, you had a comment about the fact that why is it still okay to subjugate women, and what are we going to do about this? You were in the middle of telling us something on the break.
Yeah, I last May at the retreat, this came up for me where I was talking about the women in my life, and the terms that I was using were not respectful to women. And I didn't even realize it. You caught it.
Yes.
And from your reaction to it, I started to reflect on it, and I realized that, oh my goodness, I've lived an entire lifetime being desensitized to some of the terms that are used towards women. And so I was okay with it too, when really I'm not okay with it. So now when I hear, or when I catch myself saying, oh my God, he just screamed like a girl, it's like, whoa, why is that a bad thing?
Yeah. It's like that commercial during the Super Bowl when they were saying, like, running like a girl, that we're not to say that to our daughters. So ladies, empowered women, and we're talking about the workshops, and it's so obviously, like Tracy said on the break, like we could spend a full hour talking about some of these topics, and I can't believe it, but the show we're almost at that point. What is it you guys want to see coming up in future retreats? Like our next retreat, we have topics like mastering emotions, how to overcome guilt. Like Tracy mentioned, we've done guilt, but it still keeps coming up. And another hot topic last time, we started to talk about the psychology of money.
Oh, that's a hot one.
Women have struggled in that area. What else do you guys think is where women are stuck and need to go in upcoming retreats? I'm curious. Throw some topics out, anyone.
I have an idea, and I wanted to email you. Body image.
Oh, body image. Oh, yeah.
I'm taking note. I love that.
Oh, yes. And body shaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Someone else was saying something. Quickly.
Boundaries and consequences.
Boundaries and consequences again, eh?
Yeah,
it's a big one. It's a huge topic. It's definitely one that is so hard. You understand it cognitively, and then to apply it, I get that. Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah. Anyone else?
And I think it would be great to get a little help on staying on track with, like Tracy was saying, she fell off her track, her commitment to herself. So a little bit of help in motivating ourselves to how do we stay on track.
Well, I have to give you guys a little compliment as I start to wrap up, is that I've noticed that you guys have stayed in touch since the last retreat, and that's fantastic of sort of, taking ownership of where you're at. So, Tracy, we're going to be checking in on you and making sure you get back on track, hello. But great point, Candida. It's been a dream come true for Maite and I to do these workshops, and we thought it might be fun to do a radio show about it. As always, I am touched beyond touched about the response of you guys all calling in. Behind the scenes, my producer is telling me it's one of my best shows, and that's because of you guys. I want to thank you all so much for calling in on Straight Talk with Sandra Reich. I am so appreciative, and our next retreat is on April 28th, I think. So I'm getting to see you guys before like I can blink practically. Yes. I'm so excited about that.
It's coming very, very soon.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Guys.
Tracy,
Tiffany,
are you
still there? All so much.
Tiffany, are you still there?
I am totally still here, yes.
You're so quiet.
Okay.
We can't wait to see you again as well. Candida, Lori, Tracy, Tiffany, Rita. So, did I miss anyone? I don't think so. So excited to see you again. Carolyn's watching us also on Facebook. We can't wait to see you. Thank you so much, Empowered Women. There would be no Empowered Women workshops without you guys, and you are keeping us on track.
And you are changing the world.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Take that in, because that is the truth.
Thanks all. And Maite, I want to thank you. This is all the time we have today. I want to thank you so much for coming on. You'll have to come on again with the ladies. It clearly goes too fast.
It's a date.
I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for this wonderful radio show, and thank you for you. It's just amazing. You're really changing the world and giving the goods to the people. It's unbelievable.
With you, my dear, with you. I'd like to also thank Spaminary Olga for helping make this show possible. If I could speak, it would be good. And of course, I want to thank the listeners. We're now being heard all over the world by all sorts of women and men. And by the way, men, we are talking to you too, because as women are getting stronger, relationships get better. So this is not anti-men. As a matter of fact, our women come home happier towards their men. Mm-hmm. If you're interested in our retreats, therapy, or any media that was mentioned on this show or previous shows, check out helpforanxietydepression.com. Also, you can go on straighttalksandrareach.com. You can see all sorts of gifts. If you put a /radio gifts, they're all free. Check out the Facebook, Straight Talk with Sandra Reich, to see all kinds of interesting things. Stay in touch with Maite and myself. Feel free to leave a question for any of our guests. And don't forget to like us while you're there. You can hear this and any prior show as a podcast on my website, Straight Talk with Sandra Reich. Look what happens when you go too fast. You can listen to the show on your iPhone or iTunes under Straight Talk with Sandra Reich, and drop me a line or question anytime at info@helpforanxietydepression.com. My name is Sandra Reich, and I promise I'll help you learn to live your best life again next Thursday, same time, same channel. In the meanwhile, keep your eyes on the stars. This is Straight Talk with Sandra Reich.
Thank you for listening to Straight Talk with Sandra Reich. We hope you've enjoyed today's show, and we'll tune in again next Thursday at 3 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Time on the Voice America Health and Wellness Channel. Now, go live your best life.
Thanks again for listening to the preceding program, brought to you on the Voice America Health and Wellness Channel. For more information about our network and to check out additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit voiceamericahealth.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the preceding program are strictly those of the host or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management.